Good morning, good night. Today we're fixing the Lotus Evora DRL jerry rig system that came from Lotus that only affects the federal Evoras. If you live in the US, if you live in Canada, if you've got a federal Evora, no matter where you are, this one's for you. Check it out. And I know this is a weird thing to celebrate, but seriously, look at it. The car is on, and we don't got nothing going on here. Okay, exciting.
Normal behavior is when the car is running, these headlights, the low beams, are on.
So, it worked. But we're not done yet, because there's something unfortunate about this mod. Well, first of all, let's talk about why the hell you would even want to do this. Okay, let's jump back in here. Car's on, it's just warming up, everything's doing its thing. Let's get the music down. All right, cool. So why would you want to do this in the first place? Because...
Well, this is why. Basically, you get a bunch of benefits, and there is a negative, but you get your headlight switch that works correctly. You get parking lights that operate independently of your headlights. The high beams operate when the headlights are on. Okay, yeah, that's interesting, because that's not normal. Normally, they don't work correctly unless you push the headlight button, but the headlights were already on. That's confusing. Interior lights illuminate with the headlights. Nice. And, yeah, there is the hyper flash. We'll get to that.
All right, so entering on the passenger side and getting down into the passenger footwell, we can start to access. These are little twist things. They just turn 90 degrees, and then they unlock, and you'll pull this one out as well. By the way, if your car doesn't have these are another one. You can actually watch a video on that. So I have a video on that. Those are the removable floor mat fixins. Or if you're tired of that whole thing, you can just rip up everything and get it out of the way, which we're doing today. Velcro there. So now, these come up and out. I'm just going to put it right here, and this is kind of what they look like. Wiggle it out gently. There you go. There's a second one. Okay, look, Lotus's favorite Velcro. If you look way under here, there's not one but two more. Again, way under that passenger footwell here. But I'm taking them all the way out. All right, let's see. Okay. Be clear, this is what they look like on the back. So you've got this sort of metal backer plate for it's sort of like a kickboard. This is the back of the carpet. And then you can see down in here, you've got some fuses and some other things of this nature. So we get this stuff out of the way and we'll get down in there. All right, and I can tell already that my little video tripod is gonna have to go. So what we're looking at is underneath here, and it's the big wire loom that's right here, and it goes all the way across the back, right? Well, I think the reality is this might be our DRL, daylight running lights, DRL, disconnect. This happens to be a booster seat for my daughter, but I'm using it for my knees so I don't have to kneel on the ground. And I'm just kind of getting in here. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. All right, so now I'm sitting on the sill. Be careful you don't have any like scratchy rivets on your jeans or something, because this is leather covered. Now I'm doing the Lotus layback. I just coined that term. And I'm laying out. I'm laying back. and getting into the footwell. All right, I'm here. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, since I'm down here for you, but like and subscribe for more of this. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm down here, I'm in the footwell, and guess what I see? SAE lamps B. Now mine was already sort of, like, I don't know, looks like it was taped up and the tape sort of melted from the heat and it's there. So anyway, long story short, that is what we're doing, and just be gentle. These wires are super thin, easy to just, you could yank them out of the clips if you're not careful, or even break them. So I'm just like shouting. Anyway, so look, I had to do it off camera because it's so small, but you just, you press down on this little tab here and then gently wiggle it out. It was super easy to do. Just, the hardest part is getting both hands down in here because my shoulders don't fit. So now it's disconnected, right? So I'm going to try to find a way to tape that up or get that out of the way. But in the meantime, it's not going to short on anything, and I'm just going to leave it here. Including the marker lights and kind of this cool little, like, let me see if I can adjust it, really get it down. It's like a flower. It's gorgeous. It's actually a really beautiful, like, pattern. You can see it on both sides, but and that's what I would call the DRL. All right, those are LEDs. That's never going to wear out. That should last the life of the vehicle. So first improvement you get is your headlight switch turns on the headlights. I know that's weird, but that's how, when you buy a Lotus and you get a 2010, 11, I think even some of the 12s and 13s, when you press the headlight switch, it doesn't do anything. That means your headlights were already on, so when you press the button, nothing happens. Except, that's not true, because when I used to press it, it would dim the cluster, but not do anything with the headlights. It was the most confusing thing ever. And then, on top of that, these, which is at the actual, what I would call DRLs, daytime running lights, they would always be on, but you'd push this one, and then you'd have to turn this one off when you stop the car, and that one. It was just so confusing. So now, you can turn them off and on individually. So now, like, for example, I have the DRLs on, but not the headlights, not my low beams. So I can turn them off. Now everything's off, and Sport is on, but because I always drive with Sport on because I love it, but we'll turn that off as well. Okay, fine. Now you could also just turn on, and notice my cluster is very bright. So now if I press the DRLs only, which is this top button, and I'll do it so you can see the cluster. So no change to the cluster, because you're supposed to be driving it in daytime, so you'd want a bright cluster. But I've got all my corner and marker lights on, and those little like halo lights I showed you. And I'll push it again. It turns on and off interior lighting, which is nice, so you can actually see what the heck it is. So in the daytime, it would illuminate certain things, which actually makes it nice. But this is the negative. You get a hyper flash. It's the only negative that you get. Indeed, it's a hyper flash. And that is what we've got. As you can see with the four-ways, with the the emergency flashers or the four-way flashers, it's back at normal tempo. So yeah, I would say pretty happy with the change. Now the obvious issue is the hyper flash, and it is annoying. Like, don't let anyone tell you that it's better. It's not. So I may choose to address that in the future. But for now, I'm just happy that the buttons on the left side of my console now work in a way that makes sense. And I'm not going to burn out my low beams, my xenon low beams. So yeah, that's a good thing. I don't want to burn them. I don't want to replace them. That's it. Put everything back together. It goes back together like it came out. Hey, hopefully you like that. It's simple enough to do. Look, if your country and your local rules say you need daytime running lights, press the button, put them on, and you're good to go. So everybody, speaking of pressing buttons, press the like button, press the subscribe button, please. It helps out the channel so much. I really appreciate your help, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.